Alright, today I'm going to show you the A major scale. So when I play it, it sounds like this. That was ascending, now it's descending. Now, there are many ways to play a scale. You can play it picking, you can play it legato, or tapping. Now, let's get to picking for now. We can play it in one note per beat or a quarter note, or 8 notes or 2 notes per beat. 8-note triplets, 3 notes per beat, 16 notes, 4 notes per beat, and 8-note triplet or sextuplets, 6 notes per beat. So that's the common subdivision of notes that most guitar players do. Other uncommon are 5 notes per beat, 7 notes per beat, 12 notes per beat, 10 notes per beat maybe. So let's just stick to the common ones. So I'll play on a metronome. So you can hear that ticking sound. It's a metronome. You can adjust the speed accordingly. Slow it down. Speed it up. So right now I'm at 100 beats per minute. So playing this A major scale at quarter note. So So 8 notes, 2 notes per beat this time. So you notice it's gone a little bit faster as I was playing more notes at the time already. So the next is gonna be even faster. I'm gonna play it at 8 notes triplet or 3 notes per beat. So the rhythm was da 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 da. That's 3 notes per beat. If you find it difficult, you can say the word crocodile to the beat. So crocodile, 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 crocodile. So the syllable croc of the crocodile falls with the beat. Okay? So crocodile, 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 so on. Now I'm gonna play it 16 notes or 4 notes per beat. So this time it's 4 notes. It's da 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 da. So with the 3 notes per beat, we use the word crocodile. So this time, if you're having difficulty as to the false rhythm of the 16th notes or 4 notes per beat, we just use the word alligator. So the a falls with the beats. alligator, 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 alligator. So that's how you do it. And then finally, the 6-note per beat, or 16th-note triplets or sextuplets. We're gonna play the same scale using a legato technique. A legato comes from an Italian word which means smoothly or smooth. So in guitar playing, we barely or never use the pick. We only use a series of slurs or pull-ups and hammer-ons using your fretting hands. So, using the major scale again. Or we can even make it more interesting by moving the major scale to the second position. So, just watch me as I do it. So here it is slow, okay? I pick on the 5th fret on string number 6 or the low E string, and then hammer using my middle finger now to the 7th fret of same string, and then using my pinky hammer again to the 9th fret, and then pull up and releasing to the 7th fret of 6th string, and then back to the first note using a pull-up technique. So the first section was okay, and then the second section is just going back. You can do it, you can repeat it many times. And then let's ascending to the next string, string number 5 or the A string. We need to pick the first note of the string again. So alright? So we just repeat the pattern as we did on the 6th string. Can you see the pattern there? So it's just the same all the way. So ascending, pick again, pick again, pick again, pick again. So now we have okay. Now the descending is just like the mirror image of what you've just done. So pick on the note where you ended doing the ascending sequence, which was on the 10th fret of the high E string or string number 1. So pick it and then do a pull up. By the way, when doing a pull up, I mean, the finger that is going to fret the next note should be there beforehand. In other words, both my ring finger and my pinky are touching the string, the same string, on their respective frets or positions. So when time comes for me to do a pull-up, it's already there. Instead of doing that, it's really impossible doing a pull-up with your next finger not ready. You just can't do that. So as you can see, all of my pinky, ring finger, and my index finger are already touching the strings. So okay, so this is the first descending pattern. So you just repeat it all the way down to the E string. Okay, so the second thing that I did was moving to the second position of the A major scale, which was so it's just applying the same pattern here. So I'm gonna do it really slow for you. So note that I did a sliding technique here. So instead of having to pick this note, I simply slide from the 7th fret to the 9th fret. Yeah. So okay, I'm gonna slow it down for you a bit. So we start with the 5th fret on the 6th string. So we pick it. We use a pick here, and then the next note is just using a hammer on the 7th string. I mean 7th fret of the same string, and then hammer on to the 9th fret. And then as we change from string 6 to string number 5, we pick again, okay, on the 5th fret of the A string. And then likewise, as we did on the 6th string, hammer, hammer, and then pick. So basically it is a repeating pattern. So yeah, and then descending, pick the same notes here, and then pull off, another pull up. So pick here, pull up, and then hammer. So this time when we change string from the high to the low string, we don't need to pick anymore, unlike we did on ascending. So when descending, you don't pick when changing string. You simply hammer. Right? So that's the beauty of the descending. No picking involved. So I just did a 6 note per bit there. Now, one thing about scales is that they are like bar chords. You can just move them anywhere on the neck. The patterns stay the same. So since we know the A major scale now, which is, so if we want to do a B major scale, we just transpose it to the next fret and doing the same pattern. Now, what I've just done there was a technique called sweep picking, and sweep picking is mostly applied to arpeggios. So the arpeggios that I've used are just based on the E major bar chord. So here, this one here, with the exception of the last part. It's not a bar chord. So on the first position, I use the bar chord with an added third and added root here. So how I did it was pick on the first note of the chord and then hammer on the 11th fret of the A string using my pinky. And then the rest of the notes are the notes that you already know using the E major bar chord. And then adding a high root note on the 12th fret of the E string. So that's the ascending part. Some issues that are involved in sweep picking are the picking technique mainly. You need to understand that we're doing one motion. One motion down and one motion up. It's not a series of downward motion. It's not like that. That's why it's called sweep picking. Now another issue involved is, having to separate the strings and not allowing them to bleed like this. We want them separate because we're not playing a chord. Although we're using the notes in a chord, but we're not playing a chord. We're playing the notes separately. Now you can do this exercise, the rolling finger technique. It's just like the legs of a rocking chair. And if this were the strings here, my finger, and this is my fretting finger, it's just like the shape of the chair, the legs of a rocking chair. So that I only fret one string at a time. Really important, so that they won't bleed against each other. All right. So you can do this exercise. You can do it on all 4 fingers on any position on the neck. It doesn't matter. Okay. So where were we? Ascending part. the ascending. And descending this time, I do a pull-up. Pull-up. And then the rest is one big upstroke. Another issue that I forgot to mention is muting the other strings that you don't intend to play. So if you don't mute them, your arpeggio or sweep picking will not really work. It will sound like messy. You can mute the other strings that you don't play using the other parts of your picking hand. Maybe palm here, or maybe your thumb. Anything that is available to you, just use it. Okay, let's move on to the second position that I've used. It's still an E major chord. This time it's here up on the 12th fret. And to play it in an arpeggio context, I've omitted the 6th string, the note on the string. Instead, I've added a note on the 5th string, which I play with my index finger on the 11th fret of the 5th string. So the first note will be, and then I hammer here to the 14th fret of the A string. And then the rest of the notes are the notes that you already know that fall in the bar chord. So again, we want the notes separate and not bleeding against each other. And finally, I've added the third note here, using my pinky on the 16th fret of the first string or high E string. So it's done in the same way as we did in the first position. So hammer, down, 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 up pick, pull up, one big up stroke, down. Okay? And the third position is by far the most difficult position in my opinion, because you don't use any bar. So you only use one finger for every string. So that makes it difficult. So anyway, the first note is using my index finger on the 14th fret of the A string. And the second note is to be hammered. Say the same way as we did earlier. Using my pinky on the 19th fret of the A string. And then one big downward pick. So, my ring finger on the 18th fret of the D string. Next, my index finger on the 16th fret of the G string. And then, my middle finger on the 17th fret of the B string. And then, my index finger again on the 16th fret of the high E string. Okay, then I add a 5th degree here. So in the same way, I pick it using an upstroke, and then move away from it using a pull-up technique, and then one big upstroke and down. So okay. Okay? So that's the sweep picking technique. There you go. I hope you've enjoyed all of this as much as I have in making this video. And I hope it was of great help to you in learning or improving your technique, learning new things. But if you want some more, and there's really more that I can do to help you, just give me a call or send me an email and book your free lessons, and um, we'll set it up straight away. Okay, bye. See you then.